Australia have the chance to make it 4 in a row in the T20 World Cup?
Not this time.
Not this time. So I think it's hinting towards, I'm not going to name, but
Yes,
it's hinting
yes.
towards some team.
It's something that they have been doing since last 3 or 4 World Cups. So they know exactly how this partnership works. So my first player is, and we haven't talked about her so far because I skipped the number 5. I didn't mention who my number 5 is in the overall preview. And that's
You're not going with a frontline leg spinner.
No. If they just have to play 2 spinners, they'll...
It's time our focus shifts to the defending champions, the team that has won this title 3 times in a row. Hat-trick is done by Australia when it comes to T20 World Cup. Can they make it 4 in a row? They're firm favourites, I must tell you, to do the same as well. I have Deep with me. Deep, welcome to the show. It's the mighty Aussies. And we all know there is a little bit of rivalry when it comes to class now. We have shifted from India, Pakistan towards India, Australia for the men's side of the things. Is it the same now towards the women's side of the things as well?
Yeah, definitely. If you see the pool, especially the group that we are in right now for this particular T20 World Cup, it's Australia, Pakistan, England, New Zealand, and Sri Lanka. So if you see, this is like a group of death. All the
Absolutely.
big names, big side fighting in the same pool. This is like every match is going to be absolute banger. And as you rightly said, that the rivalry is definitely shifting. But if you see the level of competition in this group, I think every game is going to be a banger. Every game will count.
101% to be honest. 101% to be honest, because all the teams will be fighting to make it to the semi-finals. You can say on paper, India and Australia are favorites to make it to the semis. Never in doubt, Sri Lanka just defeated us in the Asia Cup as well. So they can do the same as well. So without a doubt, but shifting towards the 6-time champions is what my question is. Do you really think they can defend the title?
If you look at the squad and if you look at the players, the only thing that's missing here is McGlanning's brain, right?
Absolutely.
So that's something. So without it, with Alyssa Healy leading the side in this particular World Cup, will the fortunes change? Will now India be the favorite in this group as compared to Australia? So that's one question that every fan is asking. Can Healy repeat the magic, the McGlanning's golden era? So it's that pressure and how Healy will perform, right? So if you see in all the big matches for Australia, at least Healy was the trump card, the trump player. Even if she didn't perform in group stages, she definitely used to perform in the final matches, the knockouts.
The big match player we always talk about.
But with the captaincy pressure, will she be able to deliver at that big stage? So that's something which every fan is looking at and is looking for answers. So I think that's one of the reasons why I think that Australia won't be the top favorites in this group. So now it's a balanced competition between India and Australia.
True, to be honest, because no McGlanning services anymore. Alyssa Healy, you said about doing the job with the bat, doing the job with the gloves as well. If we reflect back to the last time India and Australia faced in knockout, it was that Harmanpreet Kaur run out, which Alyssa Healy did by her smart work. But now comes an additional responsibility, the captaincy, because we know she's now the captain for Australia for quite a while, but it's in the ICC event now. So it's a bigger stage in a conditions where Australia have rarely faced, to be honest. UAE conditions, how will it play? And that's where you need your trump cards, your spinners to come into the equation. And I have a couple of them in from the squad. I've picked a couple of them. Alana King, wonderful in the last couple of years for Australia when it comes to delightful spin bowling. We saw in the recently concluded 100 as well, some peach deliveries to get dismisses. And Georgia Wareham, vast experience at the down of the order. You have another one at the candidate. Can anyone amongst these become the top candidate for the leading wicket taker of the tournament?
Yeah, I think there's another name that I feel is slightly at the top in the list. So I've been following them in the last 1.5 years and how Healy has been rotating these bowlers. So if you see in terms of Healy's team selection, somewhere after when McGlanning left, so it correlates with the performance of Ash Gardner. Now, Ash Gardner, the batter, her performances have gone down, but Ash Gardner, the bowler, her performances have gone up, right? because of the way Haley has been using. Right. So there is Georgia Wareham, there is Ash Gardner, but then because Ash Gardner is not performing with the bat, so there is this opportunity for Sophie Molineux, and she has been delivering with both bat and
True
ball
that.
at that number 8 whenever it was required, and she did it in WPL also. So I feel that if they have to pick two spinners, the Alyssa Healy's mindset is that she'll go with Georgia Wareham and Sophie Molineux, and she'll drop Ash Gardner because in her 11 with two spinners, Ash Gardner doesn't fit, and even Alana King doesn't fit. If you look at the
That's where I was about to
recent,
come you to you. You're not going with
yes,
a frontline leg spinner.
no, no, no. If they just have to play two spinners, they'll go with Georgia Wareham and Sophie Molineux. That's Alyssa Healy's mindset, that she wants to have that extra batting depth and informed players who will deliver that fire punch at the end, and she'll rotate those 7 and 8 ballers. It's very simply the Mitch Marsh mindset.
Okay. So similarly to what the men's do is the what the women's footsteps are following.
Yes.
But Tahlia McGrath, the vice captain of the side for this tournament, and her skill set at the middle order, we all know for Australia what she brings to the game. Great balance is what we say about at the middle order is what Tahlia McGrath does about. But so many competitions that you named a couple of others as well in the Australian think tank. So many competitions. What is the best position for somebody like a Talia McGrath to bat at the playing 11?
Yeah, she's a perfect number 4, because a player of that caliber, you don't want to waste Tahila McGrath by playing her at number 6 like that. For those kind of roles, you have the option of someone like Grace Harris, right? Or even Annabel Sutherland, or even Georgia Wareham can hit those shots. But they don't have a solid number 4, someone who can play the role that McGlanning used to do and can switch the
Absolutely,
gears whenever required, right? So
absolutely.
they need that kind of experienced batter in the middle order, and she has been playing the same role in WPL for her franchises and also in WBBL for her franchises. So she's the
Oh,
perfect number 4, and and together with McGrath, Perry, and then at 5 we will come to number 5. But I think this
absolutely.
3 and 4, Perry and McGrath, is what makes this team very strong.
The top four makes it even more spicy, to be honest, when it comes to the batting unit. But focusing back onto the lefty righty combination at the top of the order, the openers, Beth Mooney at one end, Alyssa Healy at the other, one aggressor, one normal person plays throughout the entire innings. At the power play, what would you think? Do they go with the natural game, or is something different they're going to try at the power play? Because in UAE conditions, post the power play, when the spinners come from both ends, it's get difficult to score runs.
Yes, exactly as you pointed out. But it's something that they have been doing since last 3 or 4 World Cups. So that they know
Absolutely.
exactly how this partnership works, right? So they know their strengths and weaknesses. And now this time they don't have to worry about that, whether the batting is shorter or something. They have a very long batting lineup, and
Huge batting depth.
I
Absolutely.
won't use the word tail because everyone can smack the ball. They are like number 6 and 7, but in this lineup they are batting at 8 or 9, right? So I think they'll start from ball one, banging from ball one, and the reason why this pair is dangerous is, as you said, someone will play a very calm innings and carry out the
Mhm.
whole innings, and someone will take the role of the aggressor. But you don't know on a given day who will be that calm player and who will be
True
that
that.
aggressor.
Absolutely, and that's what the beauty is about these two openers, and they know exactly what to do at the biggest of occasions, group stages, knockouts, not a problem. They're going to do the job for them. That's the reason why they are three-time champions in a row for Australia. But now I come to the little bit of firepower at the lower middle order. You said about top five, and let's go on to number 6, 7 a little bit. Annabel Sutherland, what a last 12 months she's having. Brilliant in the WBBL, brilliant in the WIPL, brilliant for our country in the 100 as well. Similarly, I think a little bit of competitor for her could be the powerhouse of Grace Harris as well. So could be an opportunity to have either of them, maybe two of them. If you're putting your have captain's hat on, what are you going for?
I think it's a straightforward answer right now. It's just Annabel Sutherland. There is no competition to her in terms of
Without without a
her,
doubt,
her
yeah.
form and what she has proved. If you just look at numbers and mask the names, you'll pick Annabel Sutherland even just on the bowling front. right? What she has been doing, those 3 overs that she has been given in every match. So I think that's one of the big boost that they have. They have someone like a Grace Harris on bench who can come in at number 3, number 4 if they require, or she can come in at 6 or 7 if they want to increase that batting depth, right? But then if you want just one, and I think only one fits in the 11, and that's Annabel Sutherland right now.
Okay, so it's just Annabel Sutherland, straightforward answer from Deep. And I think
Yes.
absolutely, not just form, but the skill set she's providing the last few months, I think has an edge over somebody like a Grace Harris. But we spoke about so many players, youth, experienced, skill set. Former captain Ellyse Perry, she doesn't need any introduction. What about her? With the bat, with the ball, with the field, just top class. A match winner by herself.
Yeah. And you ask any RCB fan, like for them, for them, Ellyse Perry is like queen. She is like she has made all their dreams come true with the first
So is
trophy.
it Ellyse Perry doing the footpaths of just not just winning the OWPL? Before that, I think with the sixth she broke the car. I think that's where she marked
Yes.
herself into the WPL.
Yes, and I was present in the stadium to watch that.
Oh
It was
wow!
a scene. It was a tremendous scene to watch that shot. The whole stadium was on their feet and they were clapping for her for that shot. I think it was just amazing, those scenes. And I think Ellyse Perry brings that kind of balance to that this side. And if you see and if you draw parallels with Mitch Marsh batting at number 3 for Australia, it has changed the whole balance, right? So suddenly, if you lose someone like Alyssa Healy in the initial overs, you have someone like Ellyse Perry, even in the power
Absolutely,
play, to maximize that. And then
a
in the
player to trust
later
on.
stages, yes, exactly. And it's a very different strategy that what McGlenning used to do. For McGlenning, Ellyse Perry was that number 5 finisher. But now you have different players for those kind of roles.
100%, and so many lefty righty combinations that Australia can go for. And that's the reason why they are world champions. They do not need any introduction. Such a lovely side. Megan Schutt with the new ball, He's the Bhuvaneshwar Kumar of the women's side, to be honest. Talk us through her. If she gets a little bit of inter movement at surfaces like Dubai or Abu Dhabi, she can be lethal in the power play.
Yes. So I think she has been like one of the most effective bowlers whenever this women's side used to play in their home conditions. And even if when they used to travel to England or South Africa for the matches,
Hmm.
right? So whenever you provide that kind of swinging conditions, he is the most dangerous one. And if you look at the new ball pairing, so along with her, now, in those conditions, you would probably prefer someone like a Darcie Brown to pair with Megan Schutt for the new ball to be that
Hmm.
effective. But under Alyssa Healy's captaincy, Megan Schutt is now pairing with Tayla Vlaeminck, and this pair has been more effective as compared to just Megan Schutt and Darcie
Okay.
Brown. And even Megan Schutt's numbers have gone up. Megan Schutt has become even more effective with the new
Absolutely.
role,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And that's something which is like a huge plus for Australia going into this particular World Cup. That it's not just those swinging conditions anymore. Now the batters are trying to go after Megan Schutt, and that's giving her more wickets.
Okay, fair enough. But moving on to you said at the beginning of the show, I just want to reflect back to that. Group A, you said a group of death without a doubt about that. But India, New Zealand, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka will be the opponents for Australia. I shouldn't say a cakewalk, but they should. I repeat, they should make it to the semis.
Yes, if you look at the squad, you won't find any better players for any role in any team, right? Just based on numbers and the caliber that they
I'm
bring.
sorry to
With all
interrupt
the
you, but with the same confidence, are you saying it for the India women's team as well?
yes.
Okay,
so
you can go on with the
so
Australian team, please.
yes. So now the game has shifted from top 4 to having the best 5 to 8, right? If you look at all these teams, these 5 teams, they all have good top 4. in the batting lineup there. If you look at
Mhm.
Sri Lanka, if Chamari Attappattu performs, they'll win that game. If Smriti Mandhana or Shefali performs, we win the game. Right? If you look at New Zealand, if Kerr or
It
Divine
has to be
performs,
Sophie
they'll
Divine.
win.
Yep.
Yes. So they all have good players in their top four. But if you compare the 5 to 8, then Australia are the favorites, right?
Absolutely.
We
I
don't
wonder.
find this
You said about India having Smriti Mandana. You said about New Zealand
Shefali
having
Verma. Yes.
Sophie Divine, Shefali Verma for India. You said Chamari Attappattu for Sri Lanka. You said so many players for Australia. The reason why you skipped Pakistan, please.
Yeah. So if you look at these teams and you compare these names with Alia Riaz, then you probably find that
No
there is no such
disrespect to them.
comparison.
No
Yes.
disrespect to them, but absolutely the levels are there. But players to watch out for now, Deep. Three of mine, I think no brainers, but I'll hear from yours as well. Somebody you have dropped from your 11. Alana King is my third player to watch out for. Alyssa Healy and Ellyse Perry are my two others. What are yours?
Yeah. So my first player is, and we haven't talked about her so far because I skipped the number 5. I didn't mention who my number 5 is in the overall preview, and that's Phoebe Litchfield, right?
Oh
So,
yeah, there you go.
so,
So
so
much
if you look at
competition in the team itself. Okay.
yes, and she's the reason why Ash Gardner is not able to fit in the top 6, and she has been reduced to just a spin bowling option and not someone who can provide something with the bat. Now, if you look at what Phoebe Litchfield has done to this particular team, now she's striking at 160, and her strike rate in last 1.5 years, if you compare to any of these big names, it's at least 15 to 20% more, right? And then her average and her ability to strike against spinners as well as spacers has been very exceptional. And she has been a talent to watch out for. So Phoebe Litchfield is the number 5. Then if you move towards the back end of the tournament, then I think Sophie Molineux is going to be another
Okay.
important player because when players will go after her, she will get more wickets. In her partnership with Georgia Wareham, she will be more economical and Molineux will get the wickets. And we can't miss the Queen Ellyse Perry, right?
Okay, so you have given your three picks. Couple of them are not in mind, so fair enough. Thank you so much for that, Deep, as well. Predicted playing 11 time now, and I think we might have a little bit of differences here as well.
Yes.
Ellyse Healy, Beth Mooney are my openers. No brainers for that as well, I think,
Yes.
according to you. Ellyse Perry at number 3, Tahlia McGrath at number 4, according to me.
Yes.
Ash Gardner, Annabel Sutherland, Grace Harris. I'm going with all three of them. Probably that is my change, your changes coming on the cards. Georgie Wareham, Alana King, Megan Schutt, and Sophie Molineux are my remaining 4 because I'm going with just one frontline pacer of Megan Schutt because I still have Annabel Sutherland, Ellyse Perry are the other seamers just because of the conditions. What about yours?
So I have the same top 4, right? Mooney, Haley, Perry, McGrath. My number 5
Hmm.
is different. I'm going with Phoebe Litchfield. She has been doing really well. My number
Okay.
6 is Annabel Sutherland. My number 7 is Georgia Wareham. Right. My
Hmm.
number 8 is Sophie Molineux.
Hmm.
Then my number 9 is where I have a slash. So initially they'll go with Heather Graham because they want Alyssa Healy wants someone
Hmm.
who can bat, right?
Hmm.
But later on in that position, you will find Ash Gardner in the side,
Hmm.
and then she'll be the floater who can give you that
Hmm.
extra spin bowling options. And my two pacers are Megan Schutt, and initially the conditions will give more support to Tayla as compared to Darcie Brown. So I'm going with Tayla.
Okay, fair enough. So that looks a very good set of 11 as well. Thank you so much, Deep. And final question, once again, just like I asked before as well, Australia have the chance to make it 4 in a row in the T20 World Cup?
Not this time.
Not this time. So I think it's hinting towards, not going to name, but it's
Yes,
hinting towards
yes,
some team. Fingers crossed.
yes.
Thank you so much, Deep. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this video. Team Australia, the defending champions, are done and dusted. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Umpire. Press the bell icon as well. Thank you so much, and bye bye.